Hey, everybody, and citizens of a world gone geek. It's Jeff, aka Grounded Geek, and we are back. World Gone Geek is on the air again. We are so excited to be back. There's a lot to talk about as far as how we got to this point and why we've been missing for what 6 months now, I think. But we're gonna explain all that a little bit here, just briefly, and then we're gonna get into a really great guest that we have tonight. Really excited to talk to this guy again. He's been on the show before, but a brand new game has come out recently. Everyone's excited about it. It's really huge. Utah and I are playing it. My son is addicted to it. He already finished it. So I am literally excited to have this guest here tonight to talk to us. But more than anything, I am extremely excited to be able to have Aaliyah and Utah back together again. We are here
Oh,
Hi.
live and well, Memorex, I guess. I don't know. We're
greetings,
on the internet.
programs.
How's it
I
So,
going?
am waiting.
Yes. Oh my
so
gosh, it's so good to
wow.
see your faces on here. And I know we've had a couple of brief little talks, but this is the real thing, and I'm so excited for it, especially because like this is the best birthday present I could get. Is this
Yeah,
right
happy
here?
birthday,
Yeah, happy
So
Mr. Jeff.
yeah,
birthday.
very excited, but not excited
Are you
about
old
happy
enough to drink
birthday
yet?
because uh, like twice over, I think. And then some. But yeah, no, I'm very very grateful to have the show back. Just as a quick update for those who are interested, we were off the air for a while because my daughter Rachel is literally playing Starfield right now. She said in the chat. Um, but
Oh, is
yeah,
that a
we
game that
were
came
off
out or
the
something?
air. I was my company had a reduction of workforce. 1,000 people were laid off at one time, and I was number 997. No, I don't know which number I was, but I was in there somewhere. And now I no longer have a full time job. So that was a lot to take in. And obviously, at the time, I was just like the show was the last thing on my mind. I apologize to the audience for that. You were the last thing on my mind when I'm trying to find a job. But yeah,
Take
so
that,
we
Willie
are.
Nelson.
Yeah, I still don't have a full time job. So if you know anybody who's looking for video and motion graphics editor or a podcast producer, whatever you want me to do, I could probably do it. I could use it. Yeah, right now I went back to teaching part time, so I am doing that. And my students, I think, know that we have a show, so we might even see some of them pop in here and there. I'm teaching podcasting, so I actually started a new podcast, which we'll
Oh
talk about in a little
no.
bit, just to help teach them how to podcast. So that's kind of fun. So yeah, things have happened, but we're back, and I'm grateful to be here. So
Well, I'm glad that
that was it.
everything
That was the
is.
update.
I, I'm glad that everything is. First off, I'm glad that it's your birthday. I'm glad you survived
Mhm.
another trip around the sun,
Yep.
as stressful as they can be, as we all know. I'm glad that we're here through the technical difficulties and everything else. I'm glad that some
Yes.
things never change.
Right. That
Um,
was very much par for the course. It was like
and
nothing. It was like 6 months hadn't even gone by.
it's just like we picked up right off, right up from where we left off. And Jeff, I'm telling you right now, we are set. Aaliyah too. Why not? Aaliyah too. We're all set because we can't lose. We can't lose. Look what I got from the blast from the past
Oh my gosh.
store.
This is a movie memorabilia that I have wanted for a long time. I keep seeing that people have been able to find this. Where did you get this? So for those who are not able to see
Listening.
this, because it is a podcast, which is a audio medium, but we are live here on
They can't hear this.
Monday nights. We've moved to Monday nights instead of Sundays, but we are here live. So if you want to see what Utah is holding up, you
Tune
should
in.
come to our live show
You should tune
every
in.
other Monday. But if you're listening on the webcast, this is the Sports Almanac from 1950 to 2000. Gray's Sports Almanac from one of the greatest trilogies of all time, Back to the
Back
Future.
to the future.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Now I can go back to the beginning of the season and put money on the Cubbies.
I don't know if as this season is that going to be the case. I haven't been following much baseball this, but
I have no idea.
I don't think
We
they're
just have
winning.
to go. We have to just have to go back between these years because
I mean, they
obviously
might be winning, but that's true. Yeah, in 2000,
there are 23 years that aren't accounted for in this
that's
book.
true. Darn, we need to go get another one.
How that just tells you how long ago Back to the Future was made, right?
That's crazy.
Right.
That
So,
just so if my
but
birthday didn't make me feel old. That did. Thanks, Utah.
Yeah, I
I've
feel
got
like
some more. I've got some more. Hold on. I've got some more in my pocket. Let me see what else. Duran was just on tour. You know how old they are.
That's right. Wow. Aaliyah, how are you?
Anyways. Yeah, Leah, our less seasoned.
You just moved.
I did.
Look at
You
those
see the boxes.
boxes.
Yes, I did.
Are you
I
allowed
moved
to?
to
Are you allowed to disclose your location, or
I mean, you're
is
still in
this
Cleveland,
sort of-
right? You didn't go
is-
anywhere like
I
you're still
am not
in town.
in
We can still see you.
Cleveland.
No, not well in the area. I mean, you're not in Wisconsin.
It's definitely not
Am
witness
I
protection.
not?
Are you in Wisconsin?
I
You're in
might
Fargo,
be
aren't you? You're in Fargo, North Dakota, aren't you?
I told my nephew that
Don't
he
you know?
was he technically lives in West Virginia, but I told him he said you live in Ohio. I live in West Virginia. I said, how do you know where you live? You could live in Nebraska. He said, I don't live in Nebraska.
Oh,
That's the best.
So I don't know. I could live in Ohio, but I could also live in Wisconsin.
it's obviously not witness
Uh,
protection because you're still Aaliyah, aka Aaliyah,
Right.
which I feel like is, very much like how James Bond is a super spy, yet uses his name all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were in
He
witness
tells
protection,
everybody.
I mean, what a crappy spy.
Right. Well, so I wanted to welcome some of our viewers. We've got some viewers in the audience who
What?
We've got
Hi.
some folks who were here when we interviewed the show, Robbie Starr.
Oh,
pro wrestler,
hey. Yes.
who I actually met originally at the Cleveland. Oh, I didn't meet him there. I saw him tweeting from there. I saw his tweet from the event we were both at, but we didn't see each other.
So you were so you tweeted him there. You didn't meet him there.
Exactly. And that was at the Cleveland Gaming Classic last year. And now
That's coming up.
It's coming up.
It
Yeah, I'm wearing the
is. So
t-shirt.
exciting.
As Dark
Look at
Dracula
you.
17 just pointed out, this is the shirt from last year. The shirt
Yes.
for this year, they've released the design. It looks amazing.
It does.
But yeah, the Cleveland Gaming Classic's coming up in a couple of weeks, the 22nd through the 24th in September. We will have a booth. We're booth 1100. So I hope people
1100?
will come by and say hello to us at booth
What a good
1100.
number.
I will be helping out with some of the MC duties, which is kind of fun. So for a change, because it's a
MC
much bigger
Jazzy
show
Jeff.
and they needed
Wow.
some help. The poor guy needs a break a few times during the day. Corey, who does a lot of that in the past, I'm going to be helping him out with some of that so that it takes some of the load off. So that'll be fun. I can't wait. Cleveland Gaming Classic. Lots of cool stuff is going to be there. They've got BattleTech.
The BattleTech
tell us
pods.
about
I'm
that,
so
Utah.
excited.
Do you remember those from back in the day? Did
From
you ever
back
do
in the
one of those?
day, I did. So way back. Let's turn the way back machine. Let's get in our DeLorean and then press set the date to say mid 80s. And where I experienced the BattleTech pods was in Chicago at the Navy Pier, and they're huge sit-in pods with it had 3 big monitors, and you had a joystick and some pedals and buttons, and it was based on the game BattleTech, where you control giant robots. And who doesn't like controlling giant robots and shooting at each other and this, that, and the other? I mean, it's
I would
like
rather control giant robots than be controlled by giant robots, as the whole AI thing is now.
That's true. That's true. But if it ever happens, I, for one, welcome our robot overlords. Because I know they're listening. But I mean, like the classic movie Robot Jocks, or the Voltron, or even the Power Rangers. It was so much fun.
So it's like a simulator. You're like inside.
It
this
is.
robot.
It is absolutely a simulator. You're the pilot of this giant robot, and you're going onto the battlefield and fighting other people in their giant robots. And it's fully immersive. The door shuts, and it's just totally dark with just the lights from the buttons and the consoles and your joystick and
That's awesome.
surround sound and all that.
Yeah, and
It was a blast
at CGC this year. They've got that.
Yes.
They've got Tim Misney. I will make you play. The Lex Luthor looking lawyer that's famous around Northeast Ohio. With the eyebrow that rivals
with
that
the brow.
of Dwayne
That's
Johnson.
right.
That eyebrow is terrifying.
I know. but
Disney makes them pay.
That's how he makes them pay. Just he goes into the courtroom.
They're going to have. I
And the
love the
defense-
fact that he's showing up. He's going to,
Yeah.
and there's going to be an eyebrow contest.
I heard about that.
How amazing is that? I'm
It's going to be an
excited for-
eyebrow?
I just imagine that people
Aaliyah?
try to get his eyebrow inadmissible in court because
I
that's
can
probably his
It's
trick.
it's prejudicial. It automatically, the jury automatically goes, "Oh, I agree with that."
Yeah. So
I just
Tim
And
don't
is
Aaliyah,
understand how he
there.
gets it so high.
Aaliyah, after seeing your eyebrow, I think you should enter the contest. That was very impressive.
That
Look
is,
at
you
that.
did get it up there pretty high. I can't
Damn.
do it.
All
Like
right.
I
I
have to make
can't
my
do it
whole
on the
face
other
go
side.
weird.
Yeah,
I'll
I
tell you what,
can't
my
do it on the
wife
other
can do
side.
it. She's got the eyebrow, the people's eyebrow too.
She's got the people's eyebrow.
Yeah.
Then
I-
maybe
The people's
she should
eyebrow.
enter the proud contest.
I think everybody should go to Cleveland Gaming Classic. It's pretty amazing. Like I said, it is now the entire top floor, basically, of the IX Center.
IX Center,
It is
yeah.
3 days instead of
Amazing.
1. It is a massive event, and
Lots of free
So
play.
much cool things, and all free play. Yeah, once you pay to get in, you're not
You don't
also then dumping quarters or getting
No
a
quarters or
Dave and
tokens
Buster's
or
card
or
and
whatever.
yeah, you're playing whatever you want. Pinball. There's old school console games, and then the vendors. There's tons. If you're a collector, there's nothing better than that. And then there are indie developers. We've got one who is already about to sign up for a later episode. Wants to come on the show, so we're gonna meet them
Excellent.
at Cleveland
Sweet.
Gaming Classic. So there's indie developers there. You can try out games that are not even in your Steam wish list yet, but you're gonna add them after you get a chance to try them. It's pretty amazing. Lots of fun. 88-bit. Rob Kovacs.
Yeah,
will
Rob
be there.
Kovacs.
He came on the show last
Yeah.
year. He will be there again. It's an amazing time, and like I said, it's bigger than ever. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of special guests. You name it. We've got Sonya Blade and
Lots of
Johnny
great
Cage
voice
from
actors.
the
Yep.
original Mortal Kombat. No, the actual physical people.
Yeah,
from
the actual
original
right.
game. Yeah.
Yep.
They are going to be there. They came a couple years ago. This will be their first time at the big, being
At
part
the
of the
IX.
big one. So that'll be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, great time. If you're into video games, you absolutely, and you're anywhere in the 4 or 5 state quadrant around Ohio. If you're anywhere,
If you're
where you
within
see
an
games,
8-hour drive, it's worth it.
yeah, you should come. It's absolutely a great time. The hotels are still available, I believe. You can sleep on my couch, whatever you need. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But
He does
it's a
not live
great
in
time.
Cleveland.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Jeff, yeah. Also, Jeff, your eyes are very, very blue today.
I noticed that. What is going
And
on? It's the
I can
lighting. I can't get it right with this green screen, and so it's too bright. I can't.
He's
If I
color
take it any darker,
on
it'll
the
be off.
fly.
Not even just that. I see like whatever you're doing in
Oh
the
wait,
computer,
it's
and
this,
it
I
looks
bet. There. That was it.
whatever
Now my
whatever
eyes
you're
are
doing in the
normal
computer,
blue.
it makes it look like you are not of this planet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, with this,
I mean,
so have you guys seen Dune?
Yeah.
oh yeah, are you
Uh,
are you a Fremen? Are you a?
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
been using the spice or whatever.
Oh
on,
man, do you control the
oregano.
say about he who controls the spice?
Controls
What do they
the
say?
universe or something like
Yeah,
that?
they control
Was
the
that it?
universe.
I remembered it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's pretty cool.
correct.
I haven't turned
Nicely
that off,
done.
so. All right.
You get to
So-
avoid the sandworm yet again.
Well, once again, it's great to be back. I'm so glad that we're all here again, but I want to jump in and really get to our guest. As we said before, this is one of the biggest. Thanks, Rachel. My daughter said, I'm not from this planet. Well, that would mean, neither are you. So
That's true.
genetically.
I'm trying to think. Does the offspring of someone not from this planet make them not from this planet?
Well, if they were
Or
born on this
if
planet,
they were
I guess
born on
they're a
this planet,
naturalized
I guess
citizen,
they're-
but that they still have that alien DNA, right?
Which is one of the traits I chose for Starfield. Anyways,
Right. Let's talk about that. Starfield, the biggest, probably one of the most anticipated games of the year, I think. Although Spider-Man 2 is coming out.
Spider-Man 2 looks fantastic.
There's a new
yes.
Assassin's Creed. There's a new
Yes. Call of Duty.
Alan Wake.
that's
Call of
right.
Duty comes out every year. Nobody anticipates it anymore.
This is Modern
They know
Warfare
it's coming. It just comes.
3.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, this one is super anticipated. It's the first brand new world to be released by Bethesda in like 20 years, I think, right? So
Since
we've got the
Skyrim?
Morrowind and Elder Scrolls and all of that kind of stuff, all the way up through Oblivion, and then what's the last one? Skyrim. We've got
Skyrim.
Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4, New Vegas,
76.
6, whatever it was. Yeah. Lots
Late
of
70s.
those types of games. All very, very popular, but people were wondering, are they ever going to like branch out, do something new? And they said yes. and Starfield
Dun,
came
dun, dun,
out
dun.
just last week. My son, like I said, already finished it.
So he finished the main quest. Is now just doing
Yeah.
like side quests now.
Yeah, now he got the
just-
pre-order, so he got it like a week
Oh,
early
he had
or
extra
whatever it
time.
was.
Yeah.
So he had some extra time, but still, like that, he just jammed right through it, and he's still playing it. He loves it. I love it too. It's a lot of fun. But we have a special guest on the show tonight who has been on the show before. He's the producer and one co-creator, writer, voice actor. Carcerem is the fantasy narrative podcast that he came on to talk about
Award-winning.
the last time. Yes, it
Mhm.
is award-winning, multiple award-winning, and it's a
Yes.
great podcast. I'm interested to find out like what's next. Is there more Carcerum coming? Is that kind of thing? But the big news is that he is a voice in the new Starfield, and not just a voice, but one of the NPC companions that can join you. That's him, right? He looks a little bit different than that in real life, but that is the
I don't know.
looks
I
like
see the
in-game.
resemblance.
And but the man
That's the
behind
worst
that
picture.
face,
The
is Shane
worst
Salk.
picture
Here he
ever.
Is. There he is, and he's doing the face. Perfect. Shane Salk, welcome to the show, my friend.
You had to have seen that coming. I mean,
Yeah,
Right?
I just was
That's
gonna
how-
ask
that's
you
the
to
only
do it, but
way.
You didn't.
I was
That was the only
I
way.
was gonna ask.
I was manifesting it.
Oh my gosh. So welcome back to the show, man. It's been a while.
Thanks. Yeah.
Welcome.
You were one of our favorite guests, and so
Mhm.
we
We
knew
still
we were
gotta
gonna
do more
have you back at some
Jackbox.
point.
Right.
I know we haven't done it in forever. Our game night, we're gonna bring it back at some point. That's the plan. But
I'm
again,
in.
I couldn't even get into my own, just even this podcast for a while. So it was kind of
Yeah.
like
No, I
needed
getting
to
out of
take a
bed
break.
is very difficult.
It can
We're-
be.
Yeah.
Getting out
we're
of
gonna
bed?
get-
Yeah. I have a very tall bed.
Oh, understood. They
He
were
doesn't
very
get out of
stupid.
it. He falls out of it.
So you were finally able to announce that you could be that you were a voice in Starfield.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I think I saw that also you guys recorded a lot of the other voices in your studio. Yeah.
Yeah, we were one of the main recording studios that that had all these actors come in and do their thing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we've been working on this we've been working on this game since 2020
Wow.
is when the
Wow.
first time.
Okay.
But this game has been in development and been worked on for like at least 15 years, if not like 20.
Wow.
Like I think they started making this game or writing this game before they had the technology to actually make this game,
Wow.
Wow.
is
That's
my
crazy.
understanding of it.
That
yeah.
sounds about right.
Yeah. So
And s-
yeah, I got to do a lot of different stuff on this game, which is I was that we were the recording studio and recording engineer, and I actually got to direct some too.
Nice.
Oh,
So how did that come about? Did they? I mean, I know you do a lot of other audio stuff.
Mhm.
You'll just do a podcast and then sit around until something else comes along.
No,
You do a lot of audio production, but like, how did it come about that the game? You
That's
have
a
other
day
stuff
job.
you do in there.
The audio is
No,
the day
he's
job.
been in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get out of bed. It was too tall.
you know.
How did this come about? Did they approach you guys? Was there a bidding process? Like, how do you become part of something so huge like this?
So for this, actually, it was interesting because it was during the pandemic that things started rolling with this the company that we work with, and people were scrambling. A lot of people were scrambling, and we got a call one day. One of the directors, Tyler Rhodes, who is a really good friend of ours, and one of the head directors of Starfield. If you look at the credits, his name is the top director there. They were talking to him about needing a studio, and he threw out our name, and then we had some phone calls with them, and they're like, "Can you do this? This is," because at the time it was during COVID, so they needed actors. Most actors couldn't come into the studio. We were still working with SAG, trying to figure out what the rules were with all the health stuff. So we had to go through a bunch of different protocols with, greeting people and masks and keeping people separated and all this stuff. Then there were people that were remote. So actors were remote from their homes, which is a lot more common now because of COVID. but at the time, it was not nearly what it is now, or and it's getting back to where more people can come into the studio. So, but we had to figure out very quickly how to adapt to a place where directors couldn't come in, clients couldn't come in, people needed high quality audio. We needed to be able to record high quality audio. We needed to create a system that we could send to somebody's house if we needed to have them record. So it was just a lot of things, of a lot of people going, hey, can you do this? And me going, absolutely. And hanging up the phone and going, I have to figure out how to do that.
Right.
Yeah. I've done that a few times. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
And I explained it to, because I definitely made some people nervous who were in my sphere. And they're like, can we actually do this? And I was like, I don't know. And it took me a while to realize that I needed to tell them, going, look, my brain says, yes, we can absolutely do this. I just don't know how yet, but I believe that we can, like, this is a possible thing. And so my brain knew there was a solution before I knew what the solution was. So that's kind of how I answer those questions.
Yeah. I believe a lot of that was going on during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because I had the same thing happen. We do a national, well, I say I don't work there anymore, but when I did, we did a national convention every year in like Nashville or Las Vegas or
Just go to Europe too.
Big thing. Yeah. Well, that's a different one, but yeah, this one was like big conference, and they would have keynote speakers and all these things. And so we were going to do it remotely, and they still wanted to have these keynote speakers, but most of them would be recorded. Like you can't get apparently Michael Phelps to come just wait in front of his webcam to do your keynote in the middle of the day on a Thursday during business hours. Do you know what I'm saying? So
what else is he doing?
Swimming, I guess. I know. I think
Swimming.
he's playing golf, actually.
They have underwater cameras now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
right.
no,
I saw that.
they
Go
ended up
pros,
doing
man.
A live interview between live was recorded live, kind of like we do here, and I did the live switching and everything. But we had to figure out how to do it, how to connect these guys, and they came to me and said, "Can you do it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I had to like suddenly, figure it out. But yeah, it worked out well. But that was everybody was scrambling, I think, during the pandemic to find new ways to do things. And then, like you said, a lot of it's like normal now. Like people, a lot of the stuff's done remotely.
Yeah, it was a really crazy time, and I mean, it was one of those things where we were in the right place at the right time, and we were prepared, and we, you deliver the high quality work, and people are like, great.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that my job as an actor or a studio owner or an engineer is to make everybody else's life easier. That's it. That's it. That's why you hire different people, is just to make your life easier.
Right.
Well, it sounds like you did so. Tell us how your part came about. Like, how did you become a character in the game after all this?
I mean, it's just like anything else. They, so with video games, they don't necessarily audition every single part. There's, I don't even know. There's like over 300 people in this game. And
wow,
I'm sure somebody has counted all of the characters and stuff and found it online, but there are so many characters that you don't necessarily send out audition sides for every single character. You don't have, Citizen 1, Citizen 2, Citizen 3. So, I mean, honestly, from my point of view, I had auditioned for who knows what, and I got a call one day from my agent going, hey, you booked a session. And I'm like, great. And, I happen to have known the code name and all that stuff. So I knew what it was sort of what was happening, but it wasn't like there was, I didn't know it was going to happen until I got the call from my agent. And even then I didn't really know what I was coming in to do. And they send you the scripts sometimes, but it'll be like a day before.
Oh, wow.
But you also have no idea how it fits into the game, or at least I didn't know how it fit into the game. And so you get a script, and it's literally just your lines. And you can kind of piece some things together sometimes, but the directors come in and they go, okay, so this is sort of what's happening. And then sometimes they have the line that comes before yours. or other, if it is like a cutscene or something like that, or just those interactions you have with the player that have like you pick what the player says and then I respond.
Right.
They have those like lead-ins, so they kind of explain to you what's happening. But funny enough, as the director, a lot of the information that you have is from context. So the longer you work on the game, the more context you have. But if you're not given like a bunch of backstory on the character necessarily. You're not given exactly what's happening in this very moment. So you find out later that the directors are so good because a lot of times they're just making something up so that you can act.
Oh, okay.
And then you're like, oh, that's really what's happening. They're like, oh, I have no idea, but this makes sense. So,
So you had no idea. You had no idea what drip was until the game came out.
I think they gave me some concept for some of that stuff. So, but I didn't know where you were going to find me. Yeah. I didn't necessarily know those things. Sometimes it's really cool because you'll have one of the writers of the game on the call as well. So the writer can fill in a lot of different things. And, oh man, it was a blast. And we just have a lot of fun doing it. And, yeah, you're some of it's them giving you information. Some of you're just guessing everything together. So
yeah. How many different lines do you think did you, or maybe did you have to say, like, in total?
I would say
there's a lot.
Yeah. Less
I've
than
been having
1,000,
lots of conversations.
but somewhere up there, I think. Because I had a number of sessions. It was I think I had at least 2 to 3 sessions, and then you sometimes get called in for stuff. But Aspen was the writer. I think I can say that. I don't know, but she was on the call. Yeah, she was on the call. I won't say her last name just in case.
There you go.
I'm sure you can Google it somewhere, but she is great, and she was on the call. So the fun thing about having the writers on the calls, sometimes she was there. She was in person for the last session I did, which was amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the fun thing is because sometimes you have to go, can we do that line change? Do you think that can happen? And my brain is broken. I have a very broken brain. So I sometimes don't read the words that are there. I read the words that I think are there. And so having the writer there is great because they're like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
That's great.
And then you could throw out jokes or improv lines or something. And most of the time I would throw something out that I was like, this is just a joke. And sometimes she would go, oh yeah, no, send that. That's funny. And I'm like, oh, I was just screwing around. So I got a message from her at one point. She's like, I'm playing the game until I find out if they kept this ad lib that you did or not.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Like that. So, and it was because I was so involved in so many different things. I knew all the directors. They're really good friends of mine, even some of them before the thing. We've been watching this game build for so long, and we couldn't talk about it at all. That it's.
How tough was that?
I'm not a huge gamer. Like, I've played games. I played Fallout 4, and I play a lot of I play Settlers of Catan on my phone. Like, I can't wrap my head around stuff. So the more and more it went on, the more we kind of found out. Like, I realized how big this thing was, and we went to a party the other day, like on last Wednesday when it released, and there were so many people, like actors who had came in to record, or actors I have met. The directors were there. People from the production companies were there. I got emotional, which I was not expecting. I was a little bit expecting, like, okay, so it's another, like, it's a mixer. I gotta go. But it really was touching and emotional in some way, just because we've been working on it for so long and so hard, and have had contact with so many people that some I've never met in person, because we did so many remote recordings. and I have conversations in the game with people who I've never met, like my character. Yes, I am the person who I bought an Xbox to play this game. Like I didn't have one that could
Wow.
play the game, and I got one for it. And
They didn't give you one?
I got they were very nice, and I did get a code for the game.
Oh, that's
But,
good. Okay.
It was I am the guy who went around and found me, and now I'm my own companion. And hearing my voice while playing the game it's trippy. It really is.
How nuts
trippy.
is that? Yeah.
It really is trippy. It's affected me in a way that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Because again, I've heard my voice. I've done things. I've been on movies, but this was just a different one. I just nothing that I've had worked that was this big, and I had worked so hard on in so many different aspects of it, and had so many friends. I have more friends that have worked in this game than I have people that have worked on Carcerem. Like,
Wow.
we had a lot of actors in it, but other than that, like, there wasn't this was such a great team of people just trying to put this all together. And I had nothing to do with we had nothing to do with the programming or art design or any of that. Like, you watch the credits of this game,
It just goes.
it's insane. I think if you're on YouTube, it's like 44 minutes long of credits.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
these games nowadays are, I would say, bigger than movie productions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Based, just with all the work that's taken into it, it's.
And I'm gonna throw this out there for any, there are haters for everything, and feel free to hate. I really don't care. But anybody that's like, oh, I found a glitch in the game. Oh, this book moved over there. Let me just tell you something. Like, these people have invented physics.
Right.
It's
insane.
sometimes, like, you have a computer you have to stop and start sometimes for no reason. You're like, nothing. Like, I can't, like, what?
Cameras don't get detected,
Exactly.
or microphones even.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are literal things that are like, well, this is just an anomaly that happened because the right electron flew across the room at that time. Like, it's insane. So yeah, you go hate on yourself, but these people they built, it's 1,000 planets. What the?
Right. Yeah, it's not just like one system. It's like a whole galaxy.
No,
it's a
it's
whole
not like-
freaking galaxy.
It's not like Super Mario Brothers glitched on you. Like,
Right.
Right.
I mean, it's their games are phenomenal anyway. They're just the depth of the storylines and
yeah.
and how expansive and absolutely huge they've been. And this is probably, I mean, this is obviously the biggest one they've tackled.
I have no
to
idea
date.
how they do it. I had a
And-
TI-82 in high school, and I couldn't get that thing programmed right.
I think it's fun
Frickin'
sometimes
graphic.
to find some of the glitches.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's funny.
It's
right?
funny.
It's funny, but it's like it's such. At least for me, like you, Ty, you've been showing me stuff that you've discovered. You've been sending those through text. I haven't experienced any of that. Like,
And
I
it's-
don't know.
yeah.
It's so random. Like,
And-
it's working and some of it isn't. I've had a couple of minor little things, but even those have been kind of comical, but
Yeah.
it hasn't changed the game experience at all. Like,
Yeah.
even one iota. So
Yeah. No,
I don't understand why.
Agreed.
But it
I
is
will
fun
say
to
that-
point out. I mean, I still watch
Oh
all
yeah.
the YouTube
Well,
videos.
it's just the
Still
people
totally.
that are,
because
yeah,
they're
absolutely.
fun.
It's hilarious. That's
Yeah.
the people that are like, we expect flawless, and you're like,
No, come on.
it's flawless. You're just
Sorry.
Yeah.
If you want
It's gonna-
flawless, you're never going to get the game.
no.
No. Yeah.
But I
exactly.
feel like those are
Picasso
like the
didn't
same
draw
people that
people.
I feel like those are the same people that are like, or forget about Halo, because I feel like Halo had so many glitches, or people were always talking.
Yeah.
So much
Every
smack
game
about
has
it.
glitches. Every game is released at some point, not because it's finished and
Yeah.
perfect, but because it's good enough. Because there's no
please.
way. Yeah, there's just so much stuff involved in games, especially now. I mean, we're talking about Starfield, which took 20 years to finally make it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Right.
I
Well,
just
that-
want to
and
point out that this face, not a glitch.
Yeah.
No.
that's the actual.
I wish I could say I did the mocap for it,
That's
but
what I was
no,
gonna
I
say.
can't.
Did you do any of the mocap or no? It was just the voice. Okay. So we got a question from the audience here. How long did the project take? Which you kind of alluded to, right? You guys started at least the voice part in
I mean,
2020, I think you said, right?
so we started. I think they had started recording some of the voices even before that, but
Mm.
the voice recording stuff alone took years. Let's see, what year are we in? I think we ended.
23.
No clue.
I think we did our last session is either at the end of last year. I think it was the end of last year, maybe the beginning of this year, but I think it was the end of last year.
Wow.
I can't remember. Time is a construct.
There you go.
That's not even true. I have a whole thing about the invention of time, but we'll get into that later.
It's all wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, it's all wibbly wobbly, gooey wooey,
Timey stuff.
slimy wimey. Yeah. But I think that bibbidi bobbidi boo. I believe that he started writing the game 15, 20 years ago. Like it took that long. Again, I believe that when they started, they knew that the technology didn't exist to make the game they were designing. So I mean, and then the writers, and then they were writing scripts for all, like, there are so many characters and somebody had to write all of those lines. So
Yeah,
for
there are lots of
me
lines.
as the actor, I probably recorded 10 hours, I want to say. 10, maybe a little bit more, less, give or take. There are actors in these games that I know recorded for 4 hours every day for a month.
Jeez.
Oh sure, yeah, like the main characters,
exactly.
like Sarah and
yeah. They had 2,000 lines or more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
makes
4,000 lines or more, something like that, something crazy. And you might think, oh, 4,000 lines, that number. It's not 4,000 words.
No. It's like
it's
right.
It's lines. If you get through, think about it. You get through 60 lines a minute or 60 lines an hour. That's pretty fast, considering you're doing more than one take. You're getting redirected. You're doing at least 2, and then you're also going, for any of the action stuff, you're screaming. You're literally like screaming across the room. So
that's right.
It can take. It's exhausting. Voiceover work, especially for these video games, is a full body experience, and it's exhausting. I was the voice in one of the basketball games, like 2K, I think.
Hey.
But I was one of the crowd, so you'll hear.
Were you a fan?
I was one of the fans, and you'll hear me yelling like, "Junior, you suck!" and "Yeah, go Junior!" Like, but you're literally screaming for an hour and a half to 4 hours. You're literally screaming, so it's dangerous, and it's exhausting, and it can take it takes more time than you might think it would.
So what do you do to like train your voice? Like if you're going to be screaming, like what's the protocol?
I mean, everybody's different. I have a theater degree, in theater performance. So I actually have like Linklater training from back in the day.
Nice.
So, which some people will say, so what? I agree. The thing with it is the training that I got for theater, trying to do, you need to do 8 shows a week, all that stuff, is about voice placement. Singers have similar things. So for me, I do a lot of my theater warm up, where this is getting really geeky and stuff, but you have 5 different,
this is the show.
You've
got
the
different resonators,
the
the chest,
corner,
the
you can
throat,
see the
this,
title.
this,
the head.
Yeah. So I warm up those, and I make sure I can place my voice in a place for a long time where I don't hurt myself as much. The great example is of, like, people are like, well, how do you know if you're doing it right? Well, or how, you can't do that for everything. Babies will cry for hours and days without losing their voice, because they don't have the tensions and the blocks that we have. Some of them are emotional, some of them are physical. An adult couldn't necessarily, even a teenager, can't cry like a baby without losing their voice for that long. So we train ourselves to place the voice and to use your natural voice, is what she calls it, in a way that's undamaging. There are different techniques. There are these vocal straws that people use to try to get their voice placed in the right place. There are people to use sprays and stuff. For me, I basically try to do as much of my theatrical vocal warm-ups as possible. And that prevents me. So I performed on a Disney Cruise Line, and I would do 3 shows a day as a giant blue guy in Aladdin. And I wouldn't, but every day I would
For
warm
real?
up.
The
Yeah.
genie?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Was it a musical or do you sing?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's awesome.
But I would warm up every single day, because the day you don't warm up is the day. It's stretching before you.
I was gonna say, it's like any athlete, it's
Any
stretching your
athlete, it's
muscles,
stretching, making sure it's warmed up, making sure your muscles in your body are remembering how they're supposed to do it without hurting themselves.
That's interesting. So, you've done video games. We've talked about that. You've done podcasting. I know that you've also done some acting on screen as well. Get a question from the audience. Catherine Jade says, "What is your favorite medium to act in? Do you prefer to be on the screen?
Oh God,
like being behind? What do you prefer?
Do you like being in Jello or clay or?"
I'm willing to explore.
Good answer. Good answer.
So the question, this question always boils down to me as then if you had to give up everything but one medium, what would that be? Because the right answer is they're all different and they all have their own unique thing. But if I had to give up every single thing besides one medium, it would probably be theater. I miss theater a lot. I haven't done it in a while, especially since the pandemic. I was living in New York and did some out there. I performed with the Disney Cruise. I've performed across the country doing theater. But coming out to LA to start recording studios to do Carcerem and then getting into the voice stuff. And then a pandemic hit. I haven't done theater as much. But I would say that, funny enough, I think Carcerem and voice acting taps more into my theater training than many of the other mediums, which is somehow very strange. You would think that, film and stuff, but the thing with theater is that it's different every time. You can kind of, you really discover stuff, and you have these rehearsals and things. Film is really cool because it's just a different environment. You're working with different people, and it's a quicker turnaround, and then it's done. Voice is similar. Voices is crazy because you don't have the concept of everything that you're doing. You make up so much stuff in your own head, and then when you see it, you're like, oh, that's not what I was picturing at all. But somebody else, there is more collaboration with the voice acting. Some people would say, or at least there's so many different people that have their hands on so many different things that you don't know until it's done. People keep coming up and going, oh, did that, that thing that you saw in the game, is that how you pictured it? Like New Atlantis or Neon
or the hat.
I did not know that was what I was going to look like until somebody found me and they sent me a video of it.
No way.
No. Wow. And then a friend of mine sent me a video and I was like, what is this video? Because I thought it was somebody else. It's not what I was picturing at all. I will be honest. That guy is a lot tougher than I was expecting.
How did they find you? Did they just recognize your voice?
Yeah,
because they knew you were in it and they recognized it.
It was one of the engineers that engineered my sessions. So I think, yeah, I mean, they either stumbled across it or funny enough, he sent me going, "You were the first person I talked to."
Oh, interesting.
I was like, oh my God. So he couldn't even afford to hire me That was how slow, like early in the game he was.
That's funny because I'm actually further in the game, and I was before we even came on here. I was telling my kids that I was going to be talking with you and that you were this character. And my son and we found you the other night. Like my son came down, and I'm like, "That's the guy. That's him right there." And so we started the conversation, and I'm like, "That's too much money. I can't afford that." I'm
Man,
like,
when
I'm
I
gonna
found that-
interview Shane on Monday, and I don't have enough money to even find out what his character does.
See, I started
And this is
stealing
in-game
cups.
money, just for anyone who thinks there's microtransactions.
no.
It's in-game credits. Like I haven't stolen enough things.
I started taking cups and
But, yeah.
trays because my friend was like, I
Whatever.
needed more money. I just started grabbing things to sell because I knew I had to hire me. I
Yeah.
knew it.
Right. I got to the point. I'm like, where would Shane be? At the bar. So I went to the. I'm kidding.
No.
I mean,
I was
you're not
hoping that you
wrong.
would have maybe a discount code or something for me that I could go back
Right.
and maybe.
apparently you can talk me down, I think.
You can
I
try
tried.
if you
could do some
if your persuasion is high
Is
enough.
high enough? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
My son
just,
joked
I
that I
would-
should try a persuasion check here to see if I could.
You
get
should,
to
right? Yeah.
Lower
Because
the,
we
lower
should-
the price.
we
for me.
we didn't have time to get the graphics up to see if it.
if it worked. No.
Okay,
I wish
so-
Yeah,
I had something.
I talked you down to 13,000.
You
Did you?
son of a.
I did.
It's
Yes,
still like 18
and
grand or something for me, and I
and at 13,000, I hired you, and I have no money now.
You know
But
what?
I have-
I'm gonna.
but I
save
have
your
this.
Life. You have that,
But I
and I'm
have
gonna save
this.
your life. I am a very good shot, sir.
You are
I'm
a
very
sniper,
trying
my
to
man.
raise
You are
money.
a very good sniper.
I'm trying to raise money to help these poor people who need a grav drive, without giving any spoilers as to why. But I need like 25 grand.
Oh,
for them.
I think I just found
and
that
then I
mission.
come and see you, and you want 18 grand, and I'm like, so do I save these
Yeah,
people?
you can't
Or
get
do
the
I
rest.
travel with Shane. That's
You
what I have
can't.
to
You're not going to
decide.
be able to get the other money if you don't have me watching your back.
I guess not.
So
How do
I
get
am one of
away
those
the
people
option?
that do not have an Xbox. Like, feel me? Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
So,
don't have enough money in real life.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it might have been it might have been a birthday present because my birthday's on the 22nd.
hey, there you
Oh,
go.
uh,
So,
There you go.
Hey.
September birthdays. There we go.
Yay.
Yeah,
That's the first day of the Cleveland Gaming Classic too. I'm just gonna
I
throw
think
another
that's-
plug
There
out
you
there
go.
for
that's
that.
why I picked that day.
Shoot,
So,
you
yeah.
know what? Oh, now I have to see if I have enough time to cosplay as Simeon Bankowski.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll all recognize you. Can you grow the facial hair?
You'd be
I'm gonna have
surprised.
to paint that on. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't.
I already got
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I can, now I just need that hat and that face.
And
I
that
don't
cool vest
Now-
and the jacket.
Now my not shaving is lazy. It's not lazy anymore. It's cosplay.
No.
There you
It's
go.
exactly. It's character driven. It's
So for those who don't have an Xbox, Starfield is a giant game in space with 1,000 planets, and it's space and Indiana Jones and all these things all fit together. And my character is, according to the internet, is a potential recruitable crew member for the space, and I'm a weapons expert who just recently worked as a weapons tester.
Yeah.
yeah. You were a
I
guinea
remember
pig.
that was
Yeah.
what you told me in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell
So-
you more things.
The game has like thousands of NPCs that
Yeah.
you can talk to, Aaliyah, throughout the whole game. You can just talk this, and it's just some of them are just random. Like you just say something to somebody, and it's like people will be like, "I don't have time for you. Get out of my face." And I'm just like, dude, like they literally got somebody to voice act this person telling me to get out.
Citizen
and leave them alone.
124.
A
Yeah,
lot of them say that.
right.
But what's fascinating to me about this game is you could talk to almost anybody, and there are so many who will have a little conversation with
Yeah.
you. Like that's a
Yeah.
lot of additional contact that I
Yeah.
have not seen in a lot of other games.
But like almost every person
It's nuts.
has
There's a
some
couple
kind
of
of
lines,
backstory.
right?
Yeah. And Shane is one. So there are several characters throughout the game, Aaliyah, that you can actually ask to come with you. And so they'll be your partner in some of these adventures. They'll back you up. They'll shoot, when you get attacked, they'll protect you. And Shane's one of them. So, but he's he won't do it without payment though.
No, I'm not that nice a person.
Are you giving a bone?
No, but what?
Come here, AJ.
Yeah, he's got a guest
But-
star gonna come in. on
I
the show.
actually came home for to do this interview instead of doing it at the studio because come on up. Come on.
AJ.
Like
you didn't do it.
Because I wanted to be with Pup. And our anniversary is coming up in 2 days.
Oh
Hey.
my gosh.
So what?
He should have been a voice actor too.
Congratulations.
I know.
What kind of dog is AJ?
He is he's a purebred good boy.
I love it.
He's a purebred good boy.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Love that.
He's a rescue.
That's
He's a bunch of different stuff and he's
Best kind.
amazing.
Well, Catherine Jade is a
Floofer.
fan.
I will say one of the best things about having Simeon as a companion is I get to hear him as I walk by him when I'm in the ship. He goes, "Hey, Captain. How's my captain? Hi, Captain." And I think, that's right, Shane. Who's your captain?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? So every time you hear a line like that, there were probably 6 other versions of that.
Oh, wow.
And I had to do each one of those versions at least twice.
Oh my gosh.
So you have to come up with a way of, it's, hey, Captain. Hi, Captain. There's the captain. Like, there's a bunch of these things. And you always give it twice. So, there's another version out there where, instead of going, hey, Captain, I was like, hey, Captain. Like, there's all, like, they just pick the one they like, but there's so many versions out there of these things.
Now
That's
the
hilarious.
robot Vasco, he actually will say your name if you pick one of like 1,000 names or something that are in
Yes.
their database. You don't do that.
Oh, well,
though,
I'm
right? You
screwed.
don't say the names.
Me
Simeon will
personally,
never say
no.
my name in
There
the game?
are, I think there were 2,000 names. We
Wow.
recorded them at the studio. There's 2,000 names. They picked them from like the most popular names that people have put into games or whatever.
Yeah.
Into
Let
games.
me tell you. Let me tell you.
I bet there's some.
Yeah, you can. There are some that are just like, come on,
Right.
people.
First name D's.
There are things like that. There
Mike.
are.
Mike Hunt. Michael
Okay.
Hunt.
I don't know about that one, but you could be Captain Boobs.
That was pretty close for this show, Utah. Come on now.
There are names on there that they will say that I believe are not okay for this show.
I believe it.
There's Captain Boobs. There's Captain Boobies. There's Captain Sexy.
For real?
Yeah.
In the list?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
There better be Captain Tight Pants.
So
I don't know. I really hope I'm not getting in trouble
God.
for all of this.
yeah, Cogsworth does the same thing of Fallout 4, and I think
Yes,
that's where
it's
they
true.
got the list
That's right.
from for this one. I heard that it
It's
was
like
like
the-
a lot of those names and perhaps even
Yeah.
more now.
I will say you can be Captain Shane. They will say Shane.
Nice.
Rachel, what is your
Wow.
captain's name? Please tell me you didn't pick Captain Sexy because I don't want my daughter. I don't want to know that my daughter is.
Captain.
I
Is there a Captain? No Captain.
Oh,
Mine
that'd be
is-
great.
there might be
Captain,
Captain My
Crunch?
Captain.
Captain Crunch.
Probably. I think Captain Kirk probably is one. I don't know.
Oh.
My character is Captain Sexy Shane. But unfortunately, he just calls me Captain Shane.
Oh, they took
I
out the.
knew that they had sexy in there, and I was hoping but no.
that they would be able to put it together.
Yeah, he didn't.
So do you pick your name or do they pick
You
it?
type it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you
type
can
it
pick your
in,
own
and
name.
If you type in something that's not in there, then I guess you
Then
just says
nothing
Captain
nothing
every
happens.
time. Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
say
Leah's
this
not
though,
in
that
there.
so like with the name like Courtney, which has a bunch of different spellings.
Hmm.
If you spell your name too strange or like too different for them to know,
Sure.
they won't say it.
Courtney
So,
with a
with a
3
seven.
With a PHI?
and an
Yeah.
ampersand.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's funny.
yeah.
Yeah, I get
Rachel's Captain
flashbacks now.
Ray, apparently.
Oh, Captain Ray. So now I'm getting flashbacks to the ET ride at Universal Studios where they ask you for your name, and ET would never say my name because he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. That's one of.
He said
So,
triggered.
what's your name in the game?
Freaking ET. No.
Utah.
Utah. It's Utah.
Does he
Captain.
say it?
It's spelled Y-U-T-A. I should have spelled it U-T-A-H because that
Yeah.
probably would have
Mhm.
It might have been
a
in there.
better chance.
So he
of
doesn't
being...
say it the way you actually spell it. Then
No.
that's unfortunate.
No. Hey, look, Simeon calls me Captain. That's all that matters.
That's the best. So let's talk briefly. I know Aaliyah's like, I don't know anything about this game, and you don't, and it was pointed out that you can play it on PC, not just Xbox. It is
Correct.
available on PC. It's available on PC Game Pass too. So, and I just found out the other day, if I fire it up on my computer, I can
can play it on
continue
there.
my save. It's cross
Yes.
save,
Oh, that's cool.
cross progression between my Xbox and my PC. So that's kind of cool. So I can just pick up where I left off and play on the PC. But you have a Mac, right, Aaliyah?
Yes, but
All right.
you know,
Well, I don't
things
think
are in the
it's-
work when
Well,
you get more money.
I have an ancient Xbox One, which Starfield was not made for, and I'm playing it via cloud gaming, where
Yeah.
there's an actual console or computer playing it remotely at Microsoft HQ,
That's crazy.
and it just streams it to me. And so I bet that it's still in beta, but I bet that there's an app for the Mac that will allow you to do that sort of thing, because that's the whole point of it, is being able to pick up your phone or a computer or something else and play an Xbox game on that platform without needing an Xbox.
Well, I
So-
wonder if that's why you have so many of the of the glitches that I
It's-
don't.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know.
There's this weird glitch that when I shoot, my computer blows up. It's a very
Yeah,
strange glitch.
I've got this gun and it's just Shane. I mean, Simeon yelling, "Don't shoot! Don't shoot!"
That's too funny. Yeah. So speaking from experience, Xbox to Mac doesn't work the best. That's the experience that.
Yeah,
sad.
sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well. You know what? Yeah. I can do Xbox Play Anywhere on my iPad, right?
Correct.
You can
If
do
you've got the-
anything you say you're trying to.
So.
That's right.
Yeah, so maybe at the Classic, Aaliyah, when you're there, we'll bring it up on the. You can like check it out. You can go say hi to Shane.
Okay.
You can pick him
You
up.
better
at the
say hi to back. You better say hi back.
I will.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he will.
I'm a pretty friendly character, I think. Pretty
he'll
nice.
call
I think
you
he has a
Captain.
choice.
I'm pretty nice.
That's
I'm
too
like,
funny.
hey, what's going on?
You can pick him up
yeah.
at the bar, Leah.
So far,
So
the
do
game
the-
is
the-
amazing.
Casting.
It's just so much fun. And Utah, what are you? So you said you might be at the point what I was just talking about with the grav drive for the for this
Yeah.
mysterious
I
ship.
actually, yes, I just got that mission and then I left.
Yeah.
I
And
said,
that's what-
"Sorry, guys, I got better things to do.
I
I've
got to choose
go.
between Shane and them.
I've got to go talk to my companion, Simeon."
Yeah. One of the greatest things about it is that it's so expansive. Like you can literally, there's different factions and there are different jobs you can have on
Oh, it's
like
great.
every different planet. And I literally have every job. If someone offers me a job, like I take it.
Yes.
So I'm in the UC Vanguard. I'm a Freestar Ranger.
Your face star.
I'm even an admin assistant to a guy from Deimos in Cydonia because I needed to be able to do that in order to get some information. I am a corpo spy for Ryukin Industries. I have all the jobs.
And you're
so-
still broke?
And I'm
Wow.
still broke. Well, I did just spend a lot of money overhauling my ship though, because I wanted a cool ship. But yeah,
See,
and
I
now I
gotta-
don't have enough money for Shane.
The building of the things, like if you build your own
Oh, it's
suits
crazy.
and guns, I get so overwhelmed. I'm just like, just give me the gun. I don't understand the building. I get very scared. Somebody asked me to have a job, and I'm like, I think this is a trick, and I like run away. Like I don't trust the characters in the game. Like, how stupid is that? I'm just like, oh no, you're asking me to be in the. No, you're gonna kill me. Like I get so nervous about all of it.
Well, some
So
of the
stupid.
stuff they ask you, there are shady people asking you to do stuff, so you have to
Yeah.
be careful. I actually got asked for a mission. I knew this guy was basically a drug dealer, so I was kind of like, I don't think I'm gonna do your mission, dude. And so I went in and I was doing another mission, and the waypoint came up, and I went to this waypoint, and I went in there, and people started shooting at me, so I started shooting at
Ambush.
them, and then I ran up the stairs, and there was a guy there I assume was about to shoot at me too, so I shot and killed him. Turns out that was the guy the drug dealer wanted me to kill. And I could have talked to him and gotten, because Jacob's like, you killed him? And I'm like, his friends down below were trying to kill me. I thought he was going to kill me. So yeah, now I'm also an assassin for a drug ring. So
Nice.
and a freestyle range. So I'm a cop and a drug dealer. So I have all the jobs.
the inner conflict.
I
Yeah, lots of
just
jobs.
saw Training Day recently, so I totally get it.
There you go.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Aaliyah.
Well, I'm curious. You know, like in some games, like the people will just like move around. Or you said that you have to find Shane, right? So
Yeah.
you have to like find out where he's at.
Yes,
So do
it's-
you just like is
it
he
is
never in the same
imperative.
place?
No, he's always in the same place, but we didn't know where that was until we stumbled across him. Or I actually saw somebody else mention where it was, I think, and then that's how I found him.
I saw that
Or I think it might have been you,
Shane mentioned
know.
the name of the character, and I just did the old Google foo, and I'm like, oh, he's right
Yeah.
there.
There he is at the.
Oh, he's at the
viewport.
bar.
He's at the
Surprise,
bar.
surprise.
You know, typecasting is
You
a
brought
real
him
thing.
Jello.
It is.
Ooh.
Oh, Jello.
Jello.
So apparently, according to my daughter, there's a character that looks like me in
Oh,
the game, and she's asking. I have not seen this. I don't know if I want to. But yeah, you'll have to if somebody has a screenshot, you'll have to send it. I'll bring it up if you get it before the show's over here. But
Interesting. Trying to think who that would be.
yeah, I'm not sure. So it's not like Stardew, in which the characters have paths and follow a schedule based on the weather. No, they're usually in the place where they're supposed to be until you get there, and then they follow.
Now,
you.
it is Bethesda, so it very much sort of mechanically feels a lot like their past games, like Skyrim or Fallout.
Which for me, the familiarity is what I love, but then it's like
Yes.
a brand new experience.
Yeah.
So
Correct, but it's like in space.
Mhm.
I had a hard time with I played Fallout 4. I had a hard time with Skyrim because I
Yeah, me
get
too.
so anxious and everything. And it was the like level up screens with the planets
Yes.
and
with
the
all the
stars.
stuff.
Yes.
I got so overwhelmed. I'm the person that like I get so nervous about making a choice because I think it's gonna like ruin the whole game.
Yeah.
That I get like I'm so stupid. It's so stupid. But this one feels like a pretty cool mix between Fallout and Skyrim in terms of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm the
I think
exact
so.
same way. I am so intimidated by skill trees and all the other stuff. Like I'll literally Google like what's the best build for this type of person, and then I just take all the things it says to take, or I have Aaron come down and pick my skills for me.
Tell you.
I'm like, I want to shoot good. Okay, let's do this. Whatever it is to take it. I don't. Oh, that's the perfect. Where did you get the
Analysis
analysis
paralysis.
paralysis? 100%. That is a great way to put it. Thank you, Catherine. Because I hate that part of it. I mean, it does make cool things happen in the game, but it's too much. And in this one, it's even harder. Apparently, so I watch people on these clips flying around with their little jetpacks. I got a jetpack on. I can't fly with it. Why? Because there was a skill I was supposed to take at the very beginning, and I'm like level 14 and still can't fly because I don't know what to take.
And then if you delve a little bit deeper, there are different types of jetpacks. So you can get a basic jetpack, but then they also have a power jetpack and other jetpacks.
I'm the guy who texted a friend and said, "How do I punch? I want to hit this guy with my gun. I can't figure it out." That's what I'm dealing with. How am I supposed to find a jetpack?
That's right.
Well, the jetpacks, you get one from Constellation like right away.
I thought it was a backpack.
Yeah, no, it's a little boot pack or whatever.
I think I sold it.
Yeah.
Oh, well then
I had one that had more.
Have a jetpack.
I got a different backpack that had like more green lights on it.
There we go. Yes. Well, that's usually a good choice. If it's got more green lights, that's usually better.
When you select it and then you look at another one, they're like, "Oh, this is green. This is red." I assume that means this one's worse. And
correct.
Oh God, what is it? I don't even know what some of these things mean. What is? It's like I should pull up the game and just start asking you questions. Doesn't matter. None of this. I'm an expert. I'm an expert in this game. Oh my God, who is that?
All right, so this is who apparently my kids think looks like me, and apparently I'm making basically the same face that Shane is making. This must be a common facial.
It's a duck. It's a duck lips.
Come on. It's that's what is that? Magnum.
PI?
Blue Steel.
I'm kind of terrified by this guy.
This is who they think looks like me.
I'm terrified.
Which one of your children thinks that looks like you?
Well, Rachel said that Aaron and Nathan have been talking about, and now I know why they didn't show me. Rachel's like, "Here, look, this looks like you." Aaron and Nate are like, "I don't want him. I don't want to show this to him."
The funny thing is,
I don't know.
at first,
I mean,
because the shadow behind your head, I thought he had a mohawk.
yeah.
Oh,
up
yeah.
here? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It was
yeah.
Nate. Rachel said, "Okay." I mean, that is kind of my hairline there.
I mean,
and
I could see
do
it.
have the beard.
Yeah, I
so-
mean, I suppose there's. I mean,
I
Some of
find
it.
you about as intimidating as his face.
there you go.
Take that as you will.
So there's my
Yeah.
question then for both of you who have played it. And Aaliyah, this is one of the fun parts is you get to actually choose the face and how you look in the game.
Oh,
Your
right.
Face, gender, like all
You
the
can
name,
design.
everything,
Yes.
right? You can design it.
Correct.
So-
Character designer.
And anybody who's playing who's playing the game but is in the chat also, I'm really curious. There are people who make themselves, and then there are people who make like just a new person of some sort that that they like. Are either of you guys like your own? You try to duplicate your own face? Like, what did you go with?
No, I'm stuck with my own face most of the time.
I get it.
So
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I made this face. No, I'm just kidding.
I actually, so I decided I was going to try to make Idris Elba. That was what I was going for. I wanted an Idris
nice.
Elba character, and then I named him Roland after the gunslinger in the Dark Tower.
Oh,
'cause
see,
he plays him in the movie version.
in the
even though
movie,
the movie was
correct.
nothing like the books, and we won't get into that. But
Wow. I mean,
I just like the idea of him as that's why I picked those two things. He doesn't actually look like Idris Elba. I tried, but it is what it is.
I think I loosely based. I just picked a face that I didn't find too creepy because I figured I'd be seeing it quite a
Yeah.
bit. I did change the hairstyle, and then I gave myself a lot of facial hair because it's a game, it's fantasy, and I'm never going to have a lot of facial hair in real life, so why not?
Gotcha.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's
David's,
very nice. A nice Doctor from Doctor Who is a good.
Eccleston, right?
Oh, that's
Correct.
funny. Oh wait, I have a picture of my person here. I think actually.
Excellent.
Did I do that? Let's see.
All right.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, wow.
A redhead.
Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, like the
I just wanted to be
ombre,
somebody
like,
friendly.
hair like fade up into.
Very nice.
I mean, it was like there's so many options for things that I
It's
kind
kinda
of just
nuts.
went through, and I was like, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
it's
Just
kinda
chose
nuts.
what
Whatever
brought you
felt right.
joy.
Yeah, whatever sparked joy. I created someone I'd want to hang out with.
There you go.
That's
Haley Williams.
Yes, Haley
2009
Williams.
hair. Yeah. All right.
I don't know. There are so many options. You can so much.
You could spend an entire first day in the game just in the character creator. It's
Good time.
if you really wanted to.
So Shane, before we finish, I have to ask what's up with Carcerem. Like, is there going to be a second season? Are you guys thinking
Mhm.
about it? Are you
Yeah.
writing it? Is anything going on? What's
Yeah,
that?
we've done a bunch of outlining for it. I'm just honestly, if all cards on the table, I'm trying to get some funding.
Okay.
It took so much to do the first season with
Mhm.
not paying ourselves and all that I'm also working with some nonprofit organizations. Oh yeah, ask anything. Working trying to get that and then some other shows going. It's a very interesting time in fiction podcasting right now. I mean, it's always interesting. It always goes up and down depending on, big companies get really excited about it, then they put a bunch of money into it, and then they don't make their money back, and so everybody calls it dead. And then it's and then people want it again, so it's crazy. So my plan would be to do a second season. I love Carcerem, and we have another a very dark noir show we want to do as well.
Mhm.
Cool.
So don't fear. I am working on it.
Awesome.
I hope we're all still interested when it is able to happen.
Yeah, no, I am still interested. I like narrative podcasts almost more than a lot of the other ones. Like, especially since I listen to podcasts like obsessively up to the pandemic, and then during the pandemic, everyone started making podcasts, including us, and then I really kind of stopped listening. You know why? Because I wasn't in my car anymore. Bye, Utah. Utah just disconnected. He's like, I don't want to. So
I'm
some
out.
of us don't care whether Carcerem comes back. You just saw who
Yeah, you
one
saw.
of them
Yeah,
was
you
there.
see if I call him captain anymore.
No, I stopped listening more because I listened a lot in my car. I had a 45-minute commute back and forth. There 45 minutes home, I could listen to entire episodes of, like, Carcerem on the way home, or any of those. Welcome to Night Vale is another one that I really
Yeah.
love. But now that once the pandemic happened, I stopped listening, and then I kind of got back into them. Solar is a really good one. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to that one. We had them on the
Yeah,
show.
no, they're
too.
good friends of ours. They actually recorded at our
That's
studio
right. We
too.
talked about you, I think.
Yeah,
behind your
Jenny
back. We
Curtis is
didn't-
amazing.
Yeah, she was
I'm-
really cool.
I'm
but
so
yeah,
curious
that's
about what your studio looks like.
right.
Come on over. We have some pictures, but we're actually in the middle of sort of fixing it up and stuff too. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's nice. I will say about Carcerem that we are at the very tail end of remastering the whole thing into Dolby Atmos, so it gives it this entire
Look out.
this entire 3D, a much even more immersive feel.
Mhm.
And the my intention with it was to, because there are movies and stuff that have Dolby Atmos, and
Mhm.
you literally design in a 3D environment. But I wanted to, a lot of them, you still have the movie, and so everything's up front. I designed it a lot more like we're in like a planetarium in a lot of ways. So there's a lot of stuff behind you. It's not like you're watching a movie. And so if the character turns around to look at somebody behind them, they can still
You
be
actually
behind you.
hear it. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's going to be the different experience, and so we're going to launch that at some point. So I will keep you guys updated on
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure exactly when and where and how, but it's the remix is very cool.
That sounds great. I
And
mean,
I'm so excited.
I'll need it if there's going to be a second season, because I'm one of those people now who we binge watch a show, and like literally we watch it 3 or 4 episodes, and then the next day we go to watch it again, and I have to watch the recap because
Yeah.
it's like skip recap. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, I need to.
Unless I just watched the episode, you're gonna recap.
Exactly. Tell me again where we left off. And then my wife and I do the same thing every time. And the very last scene of the recap, the last sudden thing happens, and we both go, "Oh yeah." We both, like, the same time.
Yeah.
We're just like,
Oh, that's
yeah."
right.
Like, oh, that's right.
That's
Yes,
right.
that happened.
I've
Yeah,
been watching
that's what we do
always
now.
Only Murders in the Building, and I've had to do
Love
that
it.
a couple times.
Oh, that's
Love
such a
it.
fantastic
Sometimes
show.
I'll watch if it's been like 2 days or even 3, a little bit of time, I'll watch the recap and I'll be like, yeah, I don't remember that. I gotta rewatch that episode.
It's a good show.
Clearly I fell asleep or something, because I do not remember that happening.
Well, then,
Well-
and then you've got shows like Arrested Development where they do fake recaps, right? You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Next
Next
on
time
Arrested
on Arrested
Development.
Development,
Yeah.
and then it's not. That never
It has
happens.
nothing to do with.
No.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Definitely let us know when the remastered Carcerem comes out, because
I
I want to
will.
100%
Mhm.
binge that again. That was a really good, a lot of fun, and some great voice acting. And you were talking about how physically demanding even voice acting can be.
It
And
really
you
can.
had them actually sword fighting in the basically and
Sword
swinging
fighting.
swords, and
We had them carrying weights because swords are
What?
heavy. Yeah. I guess one of the hardest things to do, riding a horse, like galloping on a horse while
Yeah.
saying lines. I mean, I don't know how, I don't know if it's easier on an actual horse. I would
An actual
imagine
horse.
not. I would imagine it's not easier, but
you don't just bang 2 coconuts together,
right? No, like you're in the booth and you're not actually on a horse, but you have to do these motions and you're out of breath, and oh my God, it was awful.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there is a thesis of all the different methods on how to
Sorry, I just read
I love
Catherine's.
the cliffhanger.
I am only kind of sorry.
Yeah, you ended the just for the podcast listeners. One of our audience members said that finale cliffhanger from Carcerem. She almost threw the phone across the room. Yeah, it's tough to end on a cliffhanger and then have to wait years for the next one.
I'm at least hoping
Well, I mean-
it was a cliffhanger that you're like, I understand what happened within the story, and it wasn't like, oh, you just pulled the, this was a
Right.
very thought out cliffhanger. Let me
Yeah.
just
Like
say.
it was valid. It wasn't like
Yeah, I'm hoping that people find it valid and go, I have a good kind of anger and not a bad kind of anger.
Yeah. And I feel like as long as there's some resolution to what we started with in
Yeah.
this season, even though we're kind of this was a problem I had. Have you guys seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
The second one?
Yeah, so I knew there was going to be a third one. Everybody did, right? This is definitely going to be a
Sure.
trilogy. But I hated the way that one ended on a cliffhanger. I loved the cliffhanger, but it bothered me because nothing was really like there was no arc that was resolved in this movie. It was literally here's a
Right,
bunch
they
of
just dropped
amazing
it at the end.
things.
That
Come
is-
back for the rest of it.
That's what almost every second movie is, which is why the second movie is never usually my favorite movie because it's never a full movie in itself.
You know who
You
did it
Unless
have
it's
to
right?
Empire
have-
Strikes Back.
No, even Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Even again, love the movie, but Empire Strikes Back, it ends without really
Yeah,
a
you don't have that.
resolution.
You don't
There's
have that
nothing
closure.
resolved.
And it
That's true.
starts. You have to have pretty much watched the first one to get the start of that movie.
Right. Do you know who did it right though? Utah's little Gray's Almanac sports book from
Yeah,
Back to the Future 2.
yeah.
That Back to the Future 2 resolves and then pulls a twist on you.
Yeah,
And
but you need
that
the
is-
first movie. You still need
that-
the first movie to get into the second.
Well, yeah. No, I just mean like but
the ending,
first movie
absolutely.
resolved, the second movie resolved, and there was
Yeah.
a twist. And
If you just turn off the TV like 30 seconds before the end of the movie,
yeah.
it's its own movie.
Right. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
Like I need
Yeah.
I need an arc that
Agreed.
completed, and now let's go. Oh, but there's more. I love that.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Across Spider-Verse is an amazing film, but I feel like it was just a big 2-hour like first half of a movie. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like
Right.
I guess there was a little bit of an arc for Gwen, but it was just other than that, it was like we jumped. It's just yeah. It didn't feel like a complete
I mean,
movie
but
to me.
but you have to sort of expect it. Like, I mean, I like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, the Matrix trilogy, like all of them sort of still do that thing. The only one I can think of that, I guess, Back to the Future, but you guess again, you need the first movie. The only one that I can think of, and I don't even know if you consider it a trilogy, is Toy Story. Toy Story 2
Yeah.
can stand on its own.
Agreed.
It's that's one of the best trilogies. So, and we're gonna pretend like
true.
the fourth one and the fifth one that they're making
Yeah.
never happened. Not that they aren't entertaining. That fourth one was sort of entertaining, but that is a perfect trilogy. The Toy
Yeah.
Story. I don't care what anybody says. That had the
Agreed.
best ending, the best completion I've ever seen of a series. Like to
Yeah.
take you full through like the life cycle of like a kid
Absolutely.
and his toys, and then they just went for the money grab and still are going for the money grab. That made me angry, but I love Toy Story 1, 2, and
Yeah.
3. Don't get me wrong. That's some good stuff right there. Why are you laughing at Aaliyah?
Because my friend is watching, and he texted me and said, making a comment of my name and said, "How can you also be known as what you were formerly known as?"
Prince did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. AKA doesn't necessarily mean past, present, or future. It's
Yeah.
Is
just
also known as.
also.
She's known
There's
as
no,
Aaliyah, and in other circles, she's known as Aaliyah.
But Prince
or it's
is
Prince,
the
right?
artist formerly known as the artist formerly known as Prince because he went back to
Right.
Prince.
Yeah.
Because he went back to Prince.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
confusing.
So-
and actually,
take
I mean,
that.
and really, yeah, and actually, it could be Aaliyah, aka Aliyah.
yeah.
Or as Siri says,
Or
Or
Alia.
maybe AKA is your middle name and you're sensitive about it. Like this isn't.
That's
this is-
true. Maybe I'm making fun of your middle name because I get sick of people making fun of my first name.
Well, I will say that my friend, he is also an actor, and
Why
is
did you say that
interested
with
in
such
getting.
disdain?
Huh? Did I? Oh,
My other friend, he's also an actor.
I don't know. I just
He just jumped on the
talked to me about it.
bandwagon.
Yeah.
No, he's phenomenal. He's currently in Idaho doing the Idaho Shakespeare Fest. But
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice. That's awesome.
really good one.
But I know that he is interested in getting into voice acting at some point in time. So if you have any advice while he is watching,
My advice is
Perfect.
don't
That's a
do
good way
it
to end it.
now because there's so many strikes and they're being
Oh.
just so mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's kind
I
of
will
ridiculous.
say that the video games might be doing things with that if anybody's read anything about that, because
They're about to strike too, from what I
yeah,
understand.
I mean, it's rough because these studios are and it's honestly, when I say the studios, it's not like there are very good people out there, but like one of the things, like for motion capture actors, like they're looking for safety requirements, like things like that.
Mhm.
They're people are like, well, they're looking to get paid more. Yeah, but we're looking to get paid more because if we don't get the raise in pay, then we're actually getting the equivalent of what actors were making in like 2000. Like
Right.
it's the some of these companies are making $1 billion on a game, and they're saying they can't take part of that and just pay a little bit more to people who are trying to get their insurance or pay their rent. It's
Right.
weird. It's just weird. But voice acting is just acting. So get better at acting in general. And then classes are great. Personally, if you don't have a lot of experience, I would not say, if you can you can take, if you're able to take class in person, I think that's better, mostly because you get used to being in a studio with a microphone in front of you. If you're not used to that, it can be strange. I've directed like A-list, B-list talent who haven't had a lot of voiceover experience in the audio drama world kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, I need you to yell. And they kind of fake yell. And I'm like, no, I need you to really yell and scream. And because the microphone is right here and you're in a tiny box, depending, people get in their head that like, I'm not talking to the back of the room. I'm not talking. So getting used to those things is important. In terms of commercials pay better, animations is a lot of fun. Video games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. My first thing I always say is like, take a commercial class. I mean, because again, a lot of it's just getting used to talking out loud or reading out loud. Getting better at voice acting, reading out loud to yourself is helpful because it gets you reading out loud, which is a lot of what voice acting is. But yeah, classes, if you're in Los Angeles, there's a really great voiceover community here that you can get within if you take the right classes or find the right people. And I'm not talking like community like, oh, you got to get in and then that's how you get the jobs. I'm just meaning like people are very nice. The voice actor community is very kind, and there's always people to kind of help and bring you along but yeah, the first things first is work on your acting. Just theater acting, film it, like just work on your acting. It's good acting. Voice acting is acting first and voice second.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
good.
Last question before we go. We'll take from Catherine. If you had to choose one, would you rather be directing or acting?
Why not both?
If I had to give up one, I would probably give up directing. And again, I'm going back to like sort of a theater idea because it's a long-term experience. And one of my favorite things about acting is working with incredibly talented directors where you work together to kind of shape a role. And like, if you get to do Tennessee Williams or Sam Shepard or any of these things where you get to kind of work with another actor and then work with a director. You know, Waiting for Godot is such a bizarre show. I would love to. I've never been able to do that show, but I would love to do it with a director who knew what they were doing. It's a different emotional experience, and I find it incredibly rewarding for me. And it makes me, it brings me so much joy and passion. People ask me what I like better, comedy or drama, and I like to say comedy is so much fun when you're doing it, and drama feels so good when you're done.
Wow.
And
that's a good way of putting it.
that's how I feel about it. And it's just, and I always find myself so happy when I feel myself improving or finding these aha moments or tapping into some kind of emotional core for a character. There are people that find that same joy bringing it out of other people and watching people and helping guide. And I find a huge amount of joy in that. But if I had to give up one, I think doing a play for 2, 3, 4 months or touring or something, I think you discover so many things that and you make so many connections with the cast and things that I wouldn't get I wouldn't get the same joy as a director, but I love both.
Well,
Good answer.
Shane,
so good.
thank you so much for being with us here again and agreeing to do the show.
Absolutely.
We're probably gonna wrap up here because I have to go play Starfield and do some more jobs so that I can afford to actually have you join my crew. But we appreciate these insights. I think it's really neat to see kind of how everything happens behind the scenes. And these games, I know, are massive productions, and we got a little peek behind the curtain. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anytime.
And when we do get our game night going back, I will definitely give you a call.
I am so in.
All right, man. Thanks, Aaliyah, Utah. Thank you, as always, for being here and helping to kind of support this show as much as
Always.
you guys do. As a reminder to everyone, Cleveland Gaming Classics, September 26th through the 24th, booth 1100. Come and see us, and we would love to chat. I think we're going to
22nd to the 24th.
Did I say that wrong?
I think you said 26th to the 24th.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's
Which is okay because we have a
going
time
back in
machine.
time.
We can fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
22nd through the 24th. And please come. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to actually, I think, try to record some live podcast stuff while we're there, maybe even broadcast live. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. So come on out. We'd love to see you. I actually have some Halo, the series DVDs to give away. So if you want one,
nice.
there you go. If you were one of those people who couldn't get, what was it, Paramount? I think that it was on.
Yes, Paramount.
Well, now you might be able to watch it. So we're going to be doing some stuff to give those away. I think I've also still got some Maverick DVDs as well, which was
Top Gun
a really
Maverick?
great Top Gun
Ooh.
sequel. So that's fun. Anyway, lots of stuff, but mostly there's just fun things to do. We hope that you'll come out and see us there. As it is my birthday, I do want to tell people that we are already starting to raise money for Extra Life, which is the fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. Once again, I'm raising money for Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. We'll put the links in the show notes so that if you were interested in being a part of that, either joining our team or signing up, so you could play Starfield for 24 hours and raise money for the kids. How cool would that be? But yeah, we hope that you'll check that out and join us or donate if you can to be a part of that. That'd be fantastic. Make sure you follow us on all the socials at World Gone Geek. You can follow us or see us at our website, worldgonegeek.com, where all the geeky stuff is and all of our new shows. Oh, I was going to mention the new show. I forgot. Yeah. So we have a brand new show that is literally it already dropped, but the first episode dropped. But tomorrow I was going to make the announcement, but it is called Music Gone Geek, and it is a show that was developed out of me teaching podcasting at the media school that I teach at, and it was my example podcast, and I found it to be fun and sustainable. And basically, I invite people like former guests. The first episode is Sean Gorey from the Gory Details, a Twitch streamer, another Extra Life guy. And we talk about his favorite movie soundtrack, top 3 tracks off of it. Aaliyah still hasn't told me what her favorite movie soundtrack is, so she's not in an episode yet. Utah, we need to get you signed up for an episode. And Shane, if you would be willing or interested to be a part of that, it's literally a 20-minute interview, so
I'm
it's
in.
a real quick thing. Yeah, we just have guests on to talk about what their favorite movie soundtrack is, and then we talk about the top 3. And it is exclusive to Spotify because we can actually use the music on Spotify, and you can hear those songs where we can't license them anywhere else. So
that's
we
smart.
have a little bit of fun. It's a nice, quick little, entertaining, 30-minute show about some great songs and great movies. So check that out. It's on Spotify now, even though I'm not going to tell anyone else till tomorrow. But maybe you'll be the first one. Maybe the 4 of you who are left in the show right now will be able to check that out.
Our new
first if you
subscriber,
want to.
Catherine, can now go and check
There
it
you
out on
go.
Spotify.
All right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
for
thanks
those
again
4,
for
here's
listening.
I'll give a discount code so you can get my character for free. No, I'm just.
Oh, Jeff was about to write that down.
Oh,
That's so cool.
man.
Thanks everybody for watching, and those of you on the podcast for listening. We appreciate you, and we'll see you 2 weeks for our next episode. We're going to be every 2 weeks on Monday nights, and the podcast still dropping on Wednesdays. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.